Hey, this is Nate Bargatze. I'm bringing you some of the best comics that you might not know yet, but you're about to get to know them.
Oh my God, thank you so much. So great to be here. It's good to see people out again, right? I got to go to a wedding recently. My brother just got married for the third time, and thank you very much. He got mad at me because I was late for the rehearsal. You know, he was like, we have to practice. And I was like, we've practiced enough, okay? At this point, my speech is basically a Mad Lib, you know? Change a name, couple new adjectives, read it to half new people. That's how it works. I've never been married. I'm in my 40s. I used to think never being married was the best resume for dating. Now that I'm 40, I don't think so anymore. Now I think divorced is the way to go. You know? Because if you're divorced, you've got someone to blame. That sounds awesome. When you're dating at 40, everyone wants to know your story. And if you're divorced, you can be like, Vanessa's a jerk, Brian's a narcissist. I can't do that. I can't just blame everybody. Someone's like, why haven't you been married? I can't just be like, women are picky. I'm doing my part. They'll figure it out one of these days. They'll get there. I like being single most of the time. The only time it bothers me is when I have a new hobby and I have to fill out an emergency contact form. Because the only thing more embarrassing than something bad happening to you is something bad happening and then someone going, quick, he's hurt. Call his mom. Don't worry, dear, we'll call your mommy. We'll use the number you put on the form. She'll be here in a little bit. I've solved that problem. I put my friends' names on those forms now and I tell them. They love the responsibility. I'll call them. I'll be like, Brian, I'm throwing axes on Sunday. You're on the clock from 3 till 7. Like, I'm not ruining anyone's day, but they're not going to go see a movie. One of my hobbies last year, this is a real thing that happened to me. I was riding a bike. I went out for my first bike ride on a brand new bike, and I got hit by a car. Okay? I'm fine now, unless any of you work for State Farm Insurance. And if you do, I'm still under continuing doctor supervision. We're working through a few things on the back end. The person who hit me, she was so nice. She waited for help to arrive, but just kept saying the same thing over and over and kept just going, I just didn't see you there. I just didn't see you there. And eventually I wanted to help, so I was like, hey, listen, you don't need to say that part. I know you didn't see me there. That's implied. You not seeing me there is the basis of our whole conversation. I can't even imagine a scenario where you saw me, hit me with your car, and then came over to talk about it. I just don't even know what that would look like, you know? You're just kicking around the debris, and you're like, oh, hey, you made it. All right, I should probably explain a few things. I saw you there, I did, and I got mad, you know? So I was just like, we got to get rid of him. So I drove as fast as I could. And if I see you again, I'm going to keep trying. I really want to finish the job. Anyway, I called your mom. She's on her way. She's going to be here in a little bit. I've been dating too long. I know my deal breaker. I can't date a woman who has enlarged the font size on her phone all the way. Yeah, they are all over my key demographic. And listen, before you go and write a largely worded letter, let me just say, you just can't send sensitive information to someone who doesn't know they're getting it. That's crazy. It's like sending your deepest, darkest secrets to an overhead projector, you know? I'm losing my hair in the back of my head where everyone but me can see it. That's a fun thing to find out last, you know? My bald spot's been in my blind spot the whole time. No one mentioned it to me anywhere along the way. I went to a new barber recently. He did this thing after he cut my hair where he brought out a second mirror and showed me the back of my head. I was like, why would you do that? We were having a good time. We were getting along great. I was going to tip real good. And then you're going to go and remind me of the situation back there? If I were a barber cutting someone's hair and part of it was missing, I would never show that to them after the haircut, right? I would show it to them before the haircut to remind them that this was a pre-existing condition. You walked in damaged. I'd have a clipboard and paperwork like a rental car agency at the airport, you know? Like, I'm gonna take a walk around. All right, let me see what happened. A little bit of damage on the sides. I gotta mark it all down. You know how this goes. I don't know what happened here in the back, but we're gonna have to call a manager before we go any further. Maybe take some photos. It was my first time at this barber shop, and they said, hey, since your first time here, we'll give you the hot towel at no extra charge. Ladies, I don't even know if you know about this, but at men's barber shops, we get two options. We can either get a regular haircut, or for a few bucks extra, once they're done cutting your hair, they'll throw a really hot towel on your face. Just for the heck of it, you know? Like we all do at the end of a long day, right, fellas? Microwave a towel, lean back on the sink, and relax. Just let go. That's what they do, right? They wet a towel as wet as they can get it. And then they heat it as hot as they possibly can. Where probably the same microwave they're making lunch in, but don't worry about that. Don't ever think about that again. And they heat it to where it's so hot, they can't even pick it up with their fingers. That's how hot it is. They have to use tongs to pick it up because it's so hot. They can't even touch it because it's so hot. And then they shake it one time because that's all it takes. Just one little shake. Then they take the corner of that towel and gently press it to the corner of my face and go, hey, is that too hot? Is that too hot? And I said, no, I don't think so. And then they smother me with it, yeah. And I was like, oh, I was wrong. That's way too hot. Please stop. But they can't hear me because while they're ironing my face, it's keeping all the yelling inside. So they're just pressing down harder while I'm just yelling secrets into the abyss. They're like, we're opening your pores. I'm like, you're searing my flesh. There's got to be a way to keep the pores open and the skin intact at the same. I don't even know why they're doing this. Does it feel good? Kind of, eventually, once my face stops burning. But that's probably how my face felt when I walked in that day. You can't just start putting out cigarettes on people because it feels good when you stop. That's not a business plan, that's a crime. But these guys can charge $8 for hot waterboarding and I'm the only one who sees a problem? I got the worst compliment I've ever heard from a woman after the show the other night, and I can't stop thinking about it. This one walked up to me and she goes, I find something really attractive about you, and I have no idea what it is. It's like, wow. Hope it wasn't my self-esteem, because screwed that up for a long time. You guys have been a lot of fun. I'm Jim Flannigan. Thank you very much.